Hello, and welcome to In The DeNovo. I'm Will Grace, founder and managing director here at DeNovo Treasury, where we empower leaders of community financial institutions entering commercial and industrial banking with expertise for their strategic investment in treasury management products and services. We prioritize the how over the what. We believe in a collaborative journey and go beyond traditional services by actively transferring treasury management expertise to our clients. Thank you for joining us and staying in the know within the DeNovo.
Let's talk about what our offerings are as an organization, because I think this ties in beautifully to the help that you provide for these community financial institutions.
Sure.
And then from there, we can kind of segue into our values, what a typical engagement looks like. I'm going to go ahead and share here. This is our website, DeNovoTreasury.com, and I've gone to the offerings page. Will, are you able to see this? I'm sharing appropriately.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Yep, it's showing appropriately.
So I'm going to just kind of give an overview of each of the three buckets of services that we offer. And then, Will, if you want to take any of these buckets or any of these particular assessments, consultations, or services and do a deep dive, we certainly have time for that. But there are, as I mentioned, basically three buckets, three categories of offerings. We have assessments, which is just, Will comes in, works with the boots on the ground people at the financial institution, and we look at the current state of your financial institution from a treasury management, instant payment, and a competitive analysis perspective. These are three different assessments. And then moving on to consultations, this is a little bit more of a deep dive into the current situation. And on top of the assessment, which is a little bit baked into this, we can offer a real strategy for real sustainable and measurable growth. So here again, we can focus on treasury management offerings, instant payments, product management design. And finally, we do offer services. The most standout in my mind is the fractional product management. We have a few other types of services coming, which maybe if we have a few minutes at the end of the podcast, we can talk about that, or you can look for our press releases. But what's interesting is, and Will, I will let you speak to each of these. I have noticed just consistently that when you are first talking to a prospective client, you really take the time to understand where they are, what their needs are. Even if a customer doesn't exactly know, they just need some sort of help. You are such a great listener and such a master of really taking the time to understand their current situation and then proposing an offering based on what their needs and their goals are. This isn't sort of one size fits all. Every institution is in a slightly different place. And so what they need at any given time is different. The other thing that I really like about this is, some people start with services and then they maybe move not backwards, but in this direction to say, now that we've had a little bit of your time, we realize a consultation might be a good next step. Other times, someone can start with an assessment and then say, hey, we want to move on to consultation or jump right to fractional. So it really is tailored. It really is not a one size fits all. And there's no one prescription or one path that a customer has to take to reap the benefits of what DeNovo Treasury can help with. So, Will, do you want to take a few minutes and maybe talk about each of these?
I'm gonna dive into a few of them, but I really appreciate what you've hit on. We really do take a pragmatic approach, which is we are not product pushers. We're not trying to, hit you with, listen, a consultation is our biggest offering. That's where we make the most money. We're not going in and just trying to sell you a consultation because that's where we get the most out of this. We really we really are trying to listen to the market need. That's really what a pragmatic approach is for, for a product management approach. And that's kind of where my roots are. So I appreciate that you've noticed that just, organically and just, naturally is and tells me that we're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And that I'm taking the right approach. And the other thing that you've noticed, and it's taken us a while to get there, And I like the way that it's turning out is that, yes, you can start off in a fractional, and we'll go into some details here. You start off in a fractional, but then you could end up in an assessment, but you can go right back to a fractional, and we'll show you how all that works together, and vice versa. You could start off in a consultation, but then use us in a fractional to help you get traction. And that's the way these things are really designed to work. So let's just on an assessment side, I wanted to talk just very quickly about a competitive analysis, because it is embedded also in the treasury management analysis. With any one of these three offerings here, what we leave you with is not only each one of these results in a white paper that we leave you with of results, but ultimately what we're giving you are recommendations effectively of how you elevate and take these next things and kind of move on. So for instance, on the competitive analysis, we're taking a look at your competition, and we decide together what financial institutions locally, meaning the ones that you kind of see in your backyard every day, regionally, so ones that are, slightly larger and kind of, expanding out from your footprint a little bit that you see. And then we always give you a view of those national brands that you're going to see, whether you see them every day or your clients will see them. We want to make sure that your clients are members, that we want to make sure that we give you kind of a good cross section of what those look like and the unique things that they might be offering. Because frankly, they're going to offer most, if not all, of the treasury management services that are out there. So we try to show you some unique things that they do. So in a competitive analysis, we're going to compare you to those financial institutions that we have decided on together. We're going to provide you with a matrix. We go through payables, receivables, what we call digital and liquidity. So we're looking at, deposits and liquidity, excuse me. So we're looking at account types. We're looking at ways that, you're helping your client with managing their working capital. We're looking at money movement type things in that section. We also look at channel and information management, and then we look at international banking. So we have 5 categories that we look at, and all the products and services that we think, again, that we feel are table stakes that a C&I client will look for. We just kind of grade you on whether or not you have those things. If there's a particular service that is, outstanding in one market or another, we'll provide some information on that. And then we just grade you on each of those categories on where you are versus, the competition. And again, we'll break it down into first your local clients and then your regional. So we kind of break them down into both of those, identify those gaps, and then we start to help build a roadmap and a prioritization for you based on our experience, what we think of that market, and if DeNovo Treasury were sitting in your seat, how we would go about closing those. And we make that recommendation for you. So that's how a treasury management competitive analysis looks. And that takes about 8 to 10 weeks, that engagement. Now, one of the things that you can do with that engagement is follow it up with a fractional product management service that is a service that basically we serve as extension of you in that sense, where we can provide a product management, basically we can be your product staff. And for a monthly fee, we have 3 packages then that are limited to a certain number of hours. So you get a certain number of hours with each one of those, either 10, 20, or 30, based on the fee that you pay. And then there's a per hour fee should you go over those hours. But then we have a list of things that we would do for you based on, being effectively what a product manager would do. So we're trying to help you bridge the gap of either expertise or bandwidth that you might have. Mm-hmm. But in the sense of maybe a competitive analysis, the way that you would pair this with a fractional is maybe to help you get some traction on that roadmap and help you, not only take our recommendations, but maybe help you implement some of those, or help you get maybe your teams behind those, and maybe help get some approvals on things. That's one of the ways that we could use that. Another way that the product management, the fractional service has been used is that we come in and we can manage projects that you have that are product related. For instance, we help with reviewing and managing vendor evaluations. We have one right now with a client where we're managing a lockbox RFP. So we're helping them choose a new lockbox service provider. We have another one where we're sitting on a project to help them with implementing their new core. We've done some where we're helping them with certain things inside their core. They needed to help with setting up the analysis system in their core. Another one where they need to roll out the services that are associated with their core, so they have new product rollout. That's another way that you can use the fractional product management service. Or maybe it's just, hey, we need help with how our products are positioned today. Can you just help us with how we go about making those products more efficient? Can you help us with sales training, things of that nature? So that's what a product management fractional service would look like. If you want to go to the consultation,
I know I'm oversimplifying a bit, but I think of fractional product management. You've used these terms, but just to kind of sum up, basically you're hiring Will on a part-time basis to either plug a bandwidth or an expertise gap that you don't have. And what we find, some clients engage with us purely with a fractional. They don't do an assessment or a consultation, and this is something that we welcome. But it really is, you become in essence part of their staff on a part-time basis. Literally any needs in product or treasury management that a financial institution may have, you would be able to help with. And so whereas the assessments and consultations, even though they're very tailored to each client, there is sort of a formula, a roadmap that we use to go through those engagements, whereas the fractional is more, hey, I'm here to help. What are your needs? I can literally do almost anything to assist you.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah. I guess there's a beginning and an end to a consultation and an assessment. And there's a little more fluidity to a service. And I guess the other thing I would say about the fractional product, and you mentioned this in the onset with when you were introducing these, the fractional sometimes is an investigation or a research for us too, where we're coming in to kind of understand maybe we can't uncover, for whatever reason, the best we try with the client, what the need actually is.
Yes.
And the best way to do that is to engage in a fractional product service where we can come in and do a better job of understanding together with the client to understand what that need actually is. And we've done that on a couple of occasions where then it turns into an assessment or a consultation. So we then flip out of the fractional into that. And we've had it happen in reverse too, where we've had the assessment end or the consultation end, and it turns into a fractional service. Thanks for tuning into this episode of In The DeNovo. For more content like the video we shared today, check out our website at DeNovoTreasury.com and our YouTube channel at DeNovo Treasury. Thanks, and see you next time.